The Red Raiders officially have a date set for their matchup with the Texas A&M Aggies in Fort Worth. What day is it? We'll discuss that matchup, as well as, is JT Toppin the best sophomore in all of college basketball? There's definitely an argument for it. We'll discuss that and much more in today's video. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell for everything Texas Tech men's basketball and football all year long. Listen, this is the most engaging and most subscribed to YouTube channel in the Texas Tech space. Over 10,000 strong. We're giving you daily videos, whether that's on football, what's happening on the gridiron, recruiting trail, or what's happening on the hardwood for Red Raider basketball, and much, much more. So join the squad today and simply hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, you might as well hit that notification bell as well. All right. Let's look at the roster for Texas Tech men's basketball, because it's been a while since we've done a Texas Tech men's basketball video in terms of the whole team. We talked about JT Toppin and where he was projected to go in a couple of NBA mock drafts, but at the bottom of your screen, you can see the roster for the Red Raiders as it stands at the time of this recording, which is about midday on July 11th. You've got D5, Chance McMillian, the aforementioned JT Toppin, Kevin Overton, Federiko Federiko, a.k.a. Fetty Squared, arguably the best passer in all of college basketball, and Elijah Hawkins, the two freshmen in Leon Horner and Christian Henderson, as well as two returnees in Kerwin Walton and Devan Cambridge to go along with the walk-ons and Jack Francis, as well as Jazz Henderson Jr. As it stands right now, Texas Tech does have two open scholarships. Now, there are murmurs around, and Jacob Harris actually posted over on the Scarlet and Black Insider, and y'all should go subscribe to that if you haven't already. Might be having a deal here soon, so you're definitely going to want to get in there for football season. That Texas Tech has tried to add to this roster, but it was European guys, and they were having troubles getting into the school in terms of GPA, whatever it may be, transcripts. There's a lot to go into that, right? But as it stands right now, this feels like the roster the Red Raiders are going to have going into 24-25 in terms of the year. And that is when they will play the Texas A&M Aggies. They are officially going to play the Aggies in Fort Worth. This game was supposed to happen in Lubbock. It was supposed to be the start of a home-and-home series between the two schools, but John Rothstein broke the news on Thursday morning that the Red Raiders and Aggies will instead play at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth on December 8th. Game time is, well, tentative right now, TBD, when it comes down to it. Now, Texas Tech played at Dickies Arena last year. The opponent was a lot worse. We'll just call it what it is, and Vanderbilt, and the Red Raiders destroyed the Commodores. Now, this is interesting in terms of Texas Tech from the standpoint of this will help you from your non-con schedule perspective, even if it is a home game away from home, basically, because I'm going to venture to say there's probably going to be more Red Raiders than Aggies at Dickies Arena on December 8th. Just a guess, but we know how the Red Raiders travel, and, well, it's got the largest alumni base in DFW. So it'll be interesting from that standpoint, in the sense of the Aggies are going to be a good basketball team. Simple and plain. But so are the Red Raiders. This could be a top 25 matchup at Dickies Arena on December 8th between the Red Raiders and Aggies. So quality competition, going to be fun to watch, and it's going to be fun to watch the guy we're about to start talking about here in just a second in that matchup. It's JT Toppin, because man, he's so good. There's a list that came out, and we'll put it on the screen here in just a second, in terms of the preseason top 30 sophomores in all of college basketball. For those that don't know how good that JT Toppin was last year as a true freshman at New Mexico, let's revisit it. He averaged 12.4 points per game, 9.1 rebounds, and 26 minutes per game as a true freshman. He ended up winning the 2023-2024 Mountain West Freshman of the Year award. The guy that won it before him, well, he's a Red Raider as well. It's D5, Darrion Williams. He was Toppin on the second team all Mountain West squad. He led the Mountain West in field goal percentage, shooting 62.3%, which also ranked top 20 all-time in Division I NCAA tournament and NCAA history, not tournament history, NCAA history for a true freshman. You've also got the rebounds. He led the Mountain West in that. He led the Mountain West in offensive rebounds. And oh, by the way, he led the Mountain West in blocks per game as well with 1.9. 9. Now let's take a look at this list in terms of the top 30 true sophomores in college basketball. This is from College Basketball Report, CBK. You can see it right there. You've got JT Toppin at the top of the list right there. You've got some other Big 12 names in there, some former 5-star recruits on this list, the former Texas Tech target and KJ Lewis there at number 22 at Arizona. I mean, there's a bunch of guys in the Big 12 on there, but you could make the real argument that JT Toppin is the best sophomore in all of college basketball. And I don't think it's really that hard of an argument to make. You think, again, what he did last year at New Mexico on a tournament team in the Mountain West, the conference, again, I mentioned this a couple of times here on the channel, that had 6 teams, 6, make the NCAA tournament last year. New Mexico was a lot of people's darling. Now, albeit they laid an egg in the first round of the NCAA tournament, they'll say so themselves on that front. They were a good team, and JT Toppin was arguably, if not their best player, their second best player. Now he's coming in after going through the NBA draft process and returning to school and getting a bag out in the 806, right? But there's a real chance that he's a top 3, top 4, maybe even top 5 at worst type scenario in the Big 12 in terms of front court player. He's that good. There's NBA mock drafts out there that have him as a late lottery pick, lowest at the 27th overall pick, the same place that Terrence Shannon Jr., a former Red Raider that transferred to Illinois, went in this past year's NBA draft. JT Toppin is an instant impact guy, and I'm not really going to argue with that list too much. Let's put it back on your screen right there. I like Haggerty at Memphis, but Penny Hardaway just doesn't get the most out of his guys. I do love me some CMB there at South Carolina, number 4 on the list, as well as number 3, Josh Hubbard. But to me, JT Toppin, especially if he does better from the outside, could really take that leap into being a really, really good player in the sense of not only from an all Big 12 perspective, but we're talking about an NBA lottery pick, probably on the back half of it, but that type of player. And there's no reason to think he won't shoot better since that's been his main priority. And to be honest, he didn't shoot too many threes at New Mexico last year, but he shot a decent percentage, about 34.5. It's not, Klay Thompson or Chance McMillian or anything like that, but still solid, right? If he can go up to averaging about 2.5 attempts per game from deep and still averaging in that 35% range, we're talking about a guy that easily lives up to the billing as the best sophomore in all of college basketball. And oh, by the way, Texas Tech fans, yeah, he's going to be rocking the scarlet and black next year. You see it at the bottom of your screen right there. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. We're going to be in full force football mode, but we'll sprinkle in a little salt man right there when it comes to Texas Tech men's basketball because, well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited as hell about the 2024-2025 roster that Grant McCaslin and crew have put together. So again, if you want to stay in the know on all things Texas Tech football and men's basketball all year long right here on the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube, well, you know what to do. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell.